the household constantly chant, and as opportunity provides, serve the Lord and his devotees. Then who is a devotee? One who chants Krishna's name once. Now we're going to the next chapter, Madhya Lila, chapter 16. As in the previous year, one of the inhabitants of Kulinagram submitted a petition to the Lord, saying, "My Lord," same question, "kindly tell me what is my duty and how I should execute it." The Lord replied, "You should engage yourself in the service of the servants of Krishna and always chant the holy name of Krishna. If you do these two things, you will very soon attain shelter at Krishna's lotus feet." The inhabitants of Kalinagram said, "Please let me know who is actually a Vaishnav and what his symptoms are." Understanding his mind, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled and gave the following reply. You asked me that last year. No, that's not what he said. A person who is always chanting the holy name of the Lord, is to be considered a first-class Vaishnav, and your duty is to serve his lotus feet. And a nice long purport. The following year, the inhabitants of Kalinagram again asked the Lord the same question. Hearing this question, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again taught them about the different types of Vaishnavas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, a first-class Vaishnava is he whose very presence makes others chant the holy name of Krishna. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught the distinctions between different types of Vaishnavas. The Vaishnava, the Vaishnavavatar, and the Vaishnavatma. Vaishnavatama. Thus he successively explained all the symptoms of a Vaishnav to the inhabitants of Kalinagram. So there are distinctions in gradations of devotees. I find it very interesting when Narada Muni is giving instructions to Prahlad. No, Narada Muni is giving instructions to Dhruva about the process of meditation that he's recommending for him. He is describing the process of knowledge and detachment and the process of meditation. Then the two go together. I've been hearing this of late. Somebody is creating curriculum in China for Bhakti Shastri, and they asked a very simple question. Is there 3 or 4 systems of yoga? Karma, Gyan, and Bhakti. So, but sometimes Prabhupada says Karma, Gyan, Yoga, and Bhakti. So is it 3 systems or 4 systems? And I've heard just twice in the last couple of days, hearing Prabhupada's recorded lectures, he just kind of lumped the two together, the process of Gyan and the process of meditation, into one process, which is very similar to what Kapila Dev does when describing Sankhya Yoga, because the means of achieving perfection in Satya Yoga is meditation. Dhyayate is for the Satya Yoga. But he's explaining Sankhya, which is knowledge, but knowledge so you know what to meditate upon. Meditate upon that which is in the category of spirit, but you need to know the distinction between matter and spirit, and categories of matter and categories of spirit. And then you meditate upon spirit, and then Paramatma, and then Bhagavan, and then service to Bhagavan. So fix the mind properly in meditation leads to devotional service to the Supreme. But it's a stage. So for chanting, one also requires, to get the fruit of chanting, one requires proper sambandha gyan. Or say it negatively, without proper sambandha gyan, one is not going to get the full effect of the chanting of the holy name. Well, it certainly get effect. Just like by chanting once, there's purification. Or by chanting in abhas, where there's scorn and derision, or it's musical, or something, or some unintentional calling the name, but you're not intending to call the name kind of chanting. So that has an effect, but not the full effect. One needs proper sambandha gyan, and one needs to act according to that proper sambandha gyan. Fix your mind upon the spiritual conception of things, certainly of the name, but of the soul and the Supreme, and then engage in activities in relation to the Supreme. So, a householder needs to have sambandha gyan. But even if they don't have sambandha gyan, if they're the lowest stage, just chant. But then chanting that's done constantly, this is the next stage. Now, what does constantly mean? I mean, those that like to listen to Prabhupada's lectures, he says 24 hours. 24, how are you going to do 24 hours of anything? Because you have bodily necessities. You have to sleep and you have to eat. So how do you chant while you eat? How do you chant while you sleep? Then the indication is given. It means you do those things minimally. Do those things minimally, and maximize what the time spent doing devotional service. And household life doesn't have the same freedom that renounced life has. Renounced life has a certain kind of freedom. Now, to live a life of freedom, you have to be responsible if you can have freedom. And if you don't have that inclination for living that kind of lifestyle, then there's regulations involved where you have another kind of freedom. You're in contact with objects of the senses, but so how to maintain, again, it's this knowledge and detachment thing. How to maintain involvement with things of this world without attachment.